it says, even though the date says 2020, this applies also to 2022. So we're going to start the 2022 Fashion Scholarship Fund. So this scholarship fund is very meaningful because this is really a fantastic network opportunity. This is like a mentorship project for life. Once you become a scholar, or what they call, a winner, you become a part of the Fashion Scholarship Fund community, and you will have access to internships that other students will not have access to, and a host of network opportunities. So they give away $1 million each year in scholarship funds, and they provide intensive mentorship, industry networking, internship and career opportunities, professional development, and direct access to the country's top companies and most influential leaders in the fashion industry. They were founded in 1937, and they're the foremost fashion-oriented education and workforce development nonprofit in the US. They have also partnered with the CFDA, which you guys just finished. So these are the top five benefits of the FSF scholarship. Other than the scholarship award, which is this year, it may be anywhere between 5,000 to 7,500 just for the base winners. But this can go up to 15,000 for semifinalists, and the finalist top prize is $35,000. So this is really an amazing opportunity for you to get some, great scholarship money. They also provide internship and job opportunities, just like we just had the fashion internship, just like this Thursday, the 18th, we're having the IRD, the Internship Recruitment Day. They have their own internship. Right now, it's in a virtual capacity, but once, restrictions are lifted, they will actually fly you to New York to participate in the internship affair. Scholarship recipients have access to internships and full-time jobs through an amazing network of companies, and I'll show you some of the names. There is a mentorship program. Scholarship recipients may request a mentor during the year of their award. You will have access to your own mentor. This is a person in the industry with years of experience who will personally mentor you. What an amazing opportunity. And of course, alumni benefits. And if you're chosen, if your work is selected, you will be flown to New York. Again, this is after restrictions are lifted, hopefully, which will be by next year when you guys are ready to go. This usually happens in the month of January. You will have an all-expense trip paid to New York, where you will participate in a gala affair with other finalists or semifinalists, and the internship recruitment day happens at that time also. Again, don't get distracted by the date. These are the prizes that they every year consistently keep at this range. So in 2020, they had 650 applicants. These are all US colleges that they have approved, Otis being one of them. And they've given away over $1 million in scholarship awards. This is their internship and career placement. These are a few names of companies that attend the internship and recruit at this event: Bloomingdale's, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Steve Madden, Stitch Fix, and on and on. By the way, this presentation is also on the Nest, and you have access to it. Their mentorship program, which hosts a pool of more than 1,000 executives. Alumni benefits, they had, and this is an amazing event. Last year during the summer, they had Virgil Abloh as one of the speakers who came to the alumni events. They have summer event series, and this happens on a week-to-week basis where you hear professionals, these are notable professionals who come and give a speech and give a talk, kind of like a TED Talk, and you have an opportunity to ask questions. Talent acquisition, accelerator grants, accelerator pitch night in New York City, and development events. Their summer series are hosted by fantastic companies. LinkedIn hosts them, and it changes every year. But Condé Nast is one of the people that they invite. And then the gala event, which happens in January, usually, and where over 1,200 retailers come to watch the event, and which is followed by the internship affair. So this is what basically it comes down to. It all starts with a case study. A case study is where they offer a design brief, which we call a direction. And I will go over that with you. And students have an opportunity to apply for one of 4 case disciplines. There's design development, merchandising, marketing, and supply chain. We're going to focus on design and product development. This is develop a fashion line for the Gen Z consumer, which this year, the Gen Z consumer has been replaced with a post-COVID consumer. There is a rubric, and here's a rubric. This is an example of a winning work for 2020. I've asked for a more recent competition winner. So hopefully I will have that and maybe share that with you next week. But we had one winner last year, this year, I should say, I guess 2021, which happened to be a sophomore, and I will share the work with you also. All right, so here is a quick overview of the Fashion Scholarship 2022 competition. These are some important dates. Let me make my screen bigger so you can see the full thing. So you have to have a minimum GPA of a 3.2. That's really important to get in, which means please do well on this project. If you think you're a bit below that GPA, let's kick it up and let's use the next 7 weeks to raise your GPA but this is a cumulative GPA. So overall, you have to be able to prove through your transcripts that you meet that criteria. You have to be a full-time sophomore, junior, or senior, and previous applicants can also submit their work. The case study challenge. So as I mentioned earlier, I've highlighted it in red. You will submit your work for the design and product development, which is develop a fashion line for the COVID-19 consumer. The rubric for the design part is a little bit different from the rubric for the merchandising part. So they're a bit heavier on creativity. 60% is graded on your creativity and feasibility. 20% is research, 15% is clarity, and 5% is format. Even typos, they will take points off of typos. So it's really important that you check your work. Here are some important dates. The Wise Hive portal will be open. I will give you a link to submit your work. The Wise Hive is sort of like the CFDA has their own portal, Fashion Scholarship Fund has their own portal. That's the portal where you submit your work. April 1st, 2020, just in a couple of weeks, is the deadline for you to complete your application profile and take the eligibility quiz. What is that? It's a few questions. I think it's 4 questions that says, ask for your contact info. Are you enrolled in a full-time college? I don't think it asks for your GPA yet because we're going to see your transcripts later, but it asks something like, when your graduation date is, and a few very basic questions. It's a placeholder. So basically, all of you will fill out your profile and then submit your work in October. October 18th is a deadline for case study submissions. The case study review process is anonymous. That means you will put your name on your work this semester for us, but when you submit your work, your name should be nowhere. You will have to remove your names from your work. Scholarship award levels are determined after you submit your work. They will select the top finalists who will be flown. All of you, if you're selected, will be flown to New York, but the top finalists will be selected in New York for their prize. And the scholarship recipients are announced in the final week of December. So that would be December 2021. And then, of course, you know, I've already gone over all the benefits. All right, let me go to the next thing, which is.
Can I just say something?
Please jump in anytime, Roberta, if you want to
No,
add.
no. I just wanted to, you said a couple of words that got me, I need to say this from the very beginning. I was in charge for 13 years of scholarships at the Getty Research Institute. So I've read thousands. Now, understand this is a different thing, but it's not different because every time you go through a process to apply for funds, whatever it is, the process is the same. So let me tell you one thing, that the first batch, when whoever it is that examines these applications, they go first through a, first phase in which they eliminate those who are clearly not. And it really does take very little because their scope is to reduce from 20,000, let's say, to 200. That's what they want to do. They are tasked to do that and they don't know who you are. So for them, it's an application. A typo, it's an excuse to toss it.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you this because this will come up again and again. Clarity and precision are absolutely important. Otherwise, you don't make it through the first. That's all I wanted to say.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for the reminder. How many of you are planning on winning? Raise your hand, please.
What are you talking? Only one?
The attitude.
No, you do this because you are going to win. That's it. Period.
Yeah. You guys, this is
not the attitude that is gonna make you go ahead.
Yeah.
Especially because there isn't just one winner. You could virtually all win. So I want to see hands again, please. Who wants to win? Now 3. Okay, fine.
That's better. This is not just a monetary compensation, scholarship money. This is a network opportunity. Once you're in there, you have access to the whole world. You have access to amazing mentors.
Just think that your name will be on their website, and once your name is inserted in the network of the industry, it will pop up and up.
Yeah. So
there is no better way. Believe it.
Exactly. The saying, opportunity knocks once. I think the opportunity knocks several times, not just once. But this is a big one.
Yeah, but you don't just let it go and think.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it next time.
Yeah. There won't be, if you don't do it this year, there won't be a next time. Okay. As a senior, you have to have one once before to be able to reapply as a senior, because you have to be enrolled in the fall in the program. So this can change your life. This is a career opportunity that will change the trajectory of your life. So please don't take it lightly. And I think that a lot of you, once you see the design brief, you may change your mind. So here we go. So they give you a little bit of the background, then they go into the objective of the brief. They will give you a bit of the format that they are expecting and the slides. So you will have to put together a PowerPoint, a slideshow. They're very precise. They will tell you exactly what they want on each slide, which is really helpful, I think. And then some of the judging criteria. So let's get started at the beginning. Background. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused a significant shift in consumer behaviors and buying trends. People are working from home and socializing less, with growing concerns over going out and shopping in stores. This has created a shift in needs that focus more on casual wear, active wear, health and wellness, home furnishings, and pets. People value comfort and easy care over more structured fits associated with career wear. According to the Global Connected Index, when consumers were asked if they plan to shop when the world returns to the new normal, 39% of those surveyed say they will shop in a mix of online and in-store. 28% will shop mostly online, and 24% say they can't wait to get back in store, while 10% say they haven't really planned ahead. Taking these details into account, we can see that consumers have changed their buying habits to reflect the global health crisis. The accelerating trend towards online shopping versus in-store shopping means that quality and fit will be vital in the design of fashion items to reduce the probability of returns. Of course, when we shop in stores, we have the benefit of going in a fitting room, trying things on, making sure the fit is correct. Online shopping doesn't give you that access, so people are more prone to returning items. With 91% of shoppers saying they miss in-store shopping, but only 5% planning to return to stores in the next 6 months, it is now more important than ever to design into items that will have appeal in an online platform. Value perception from a digital perspective has become key as consumers are more careful with their spending in this time of economic uncertainty. According to financial advisor Deloitte, normal economic activity is unlikely to resume before mid-2021, which means design solutions for the future are necessary. So what do you guys take of this? What is the impression that you get of this background? What are they setting us up for? Any ideas? What are we looking at with this background, other than the post-COVID-19 consumer?
Do you, let me ask you all one question, if I may, Baden. How many of you think that fashion is never going to go back to what it was pre-COVID? Well, it is not, ever. I've read a lot of stuff recently because I'm helping a brand which wants to emerge. I'm a trend forecaster. And I will tell you that some things will never means in the next 10 years. I think the Aaron seems to agree with me. The crisis of fashion was not created by Corona. The crisis of fashion has been talked about by people who really research fashion as a phenomenon for the past 12 years, 10, 15 years. Corona has just pushed it to the edge. Mm-hmm. So what we are looking for, and this is the brief, is new ways of engaging consumers, not just selling, engaging consumers. There are certain things that are becoming paramount. like not buying so many clothes. How many of you are familiar with Patagonia? Do you know what Patagonia did? Can anybody tell me?
They are currently working with secondhand Patagonia or other Patagonia that they can get their hands on and reworking it into new pieces that they can sell.
So their mission right now is don't throw away your jacket, don't buy a new one. We'll help you fix it so you don't buy things you don't really need. Now, from a marketing point of view, this seems to be counterintuitive because instead of buying a new jacket, we'll tell you not to. We'll help you fix it, mend it. But it has made Patagonia shoot up to the stars. So the important thing is reducing the need to buy new stuff. How would you do that? You do it with quality. We're going to go back to good fit, excellent textiles.
Right. Which
Excellent meaning lasting long, not you throw it in the wash and then you throw it in the trash next time. Mitra, sorry.
absolutely, that's right. It has an heirloom quality, something that lasts forever, never ends up in the landfill.
And if you think about it, the history of fashion has been for thousands of years we've operated like that. And then fast fashion came. And instead of heirlooms, we treat fashion as if it was disposable, which is has done innumerable damage to a lot of stuff. So the idea here is, again, going back to the heirloom, going back to buying something, buying it with deliberation. You choose something and you know that you're going to wear it for a while.
Absolutely.
This clashes with the idea that we're going to buy online for a long time, because as Mitra said, you cannot. So there's going to have to be compromises, and these things are to be woven together when one thinks of the future of fashion in the next 5 years at the very least.
Right.
And when you project where fashion is going to go, always think, and you're not talking about 2022. You're talking about at least 3 to 5 years ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
All right. Everything you're saying is fantastic because it applies exactly to our next thing, which is the objective. So for this year's case study, your goal is to create a collection of either apparel, we're going to focus on apparel here, that address the needs of the post-COVID-19 consumers. This collection must be for an existing fashion apparel brand or retailer. The collection, so we're going to choose an existing brand. The collection can be for an existing product category and market segment addressed by the brand, or it can propose a brand expansion into a new product category or market. Explain why you have chosen this brand and how you think it will be a valid driver for retail going forward. As you develop your collection, be mindful of the recent trends in working from home, video conferencing, and the need to transition quickly from a meeting to home life and back again. Value perception is paramount. Think about how your line might appeal to consumers with limited resources due to the changing economy and fit their lifestyle. Focus on materials that will wear well and have easy care. Apparel collections should consider a waist up meeting lifestyle while allowing for head to toe style to go to the next activity. Accessories and beauty should consider what the new normal is, which you guys are not doing. and consider how addressing our current social structure and changes in our culture could be an additional focus to help your collection have a stronger voice and appeal. So let's pause for a second and see, does this kind of ring true? Do you guys relate to this brief, to this design brief? Right, I see some heads nodding, that is good. So it's basically what you have been living. And the best, Operon, do you want to say something?
Oh, I was just curious. So when it's saying you can elaborate on a brand or choose an existing brand, it doesn't have to be an apparel brand outright. It could be something and then you're taking it into apparel.
Well, it says that, yeah, it has to be an existing brand or retailer. Yeah, it could be something that deals with apparel. I did not read this as a different sort of brand. Like, I don't know, maybe you're talking about footwear.
No, I think
No,
what it is,
no.
like if like Mini decided to do clothing, Mini Cooper, if you call it,
Yeah.
they
That's what
decided
it
they
said.
wanted to do clothing because they've actually put together think tank people to like do something like this. That I think is where Oberon's going. Something that's
Yeah.
not necessarily apparel that might start an apparel thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they did not specify it has to be an apparel brand or fashion brand. So I think that's a great idea. Roberta, did you want to add something?
And I was also, even though, as you said, we're not concentrating on accessories, don't forget that masks are not going anywhere. So this is just when you start thinking about things that always think that this part it will be covered by masks in the foreseeable future. So don't discount that. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Don't think of that as an accessory. Think of that as part of the body at this point.
Absolutely. Although in the objective, it does say that this collection must be for an existing fashion apparel.
No. Wait a second. It says later. Or it can propose a brand expansion into a new product category or market. So
Right.
a brand, and it seems to me that what Oberon was saying, an existing brand that doesn't perhaps make apparel now.
Yeah, I think in this case, I read it as you're taking, for example, an existing brand and developing a new category for it, or it could be taking something that is new, like the Mini Cooper, for example, and creating an apparel line for that. I think that is probably possible. What about the fact that it is about something that relates to what we're experiencing today in terms of waist up? This is your lives. You guys should be very capable of relating to this. I'm wearing my comfy clothes right now. I'm in my pajama pants. You don't see that, but waist up, I try to look clean, and not that it's not clean anywhere else, but basically there is a shift in how we dress, right? Footwear and so forth. There's definitely a shift. And keeping in mind that resources are limited for people, the economy has been on a standstill or very close to that, and people are very conscious of how much money they spend. I'm gonna go.
And there are items that will, at least for the foreseeable future, not come back at all. And I have to tell you, two of those are high heels, stiletto heels, and bras. Really,
Yeah.
Mitras, I swear to you.
Well, it's just like pantyhose went the wayside at a certain point too. Like you don't ever see anybody wearing pantyhose much anymore. It's the same thing with that. It's gonna.
Exactly.
Absolutely right. Although
And people are not going to go back to stiletto, 12-inch stiletto heels after having worn, slippers for a year and a half.
That's right, exactly. So let's talk about the format. So there is a minimum 16-page slide deck and up to 21 pages, including appendices. This slide deck should be in a landscape orientation with slides sized for an on-screen show 4:3 or 10-inch by 7.5-inch submission. So make sure that you get your size right from the get-go. Submission files can be created in any software of the applicant's choosing. You can choose PowerPoint, Keynote, Illustrator. However, all cases must be submitted in a flat PDF format without video or sound. No specific font or format will be enforced, and you're encouraged to utilize visuals throughout your presentation. All digital images used must be properly cited. It is advisable to not overload each slide with information and to keep your presentation concise and to the point. Each slide should take no more than 1 to 2 minutes to absorb by the reader, okay? All references should be annotated in slide footnotes. If additional footnotes are necessary, you may add 1 additional slide to the appendix for footnotes. Do not use hyperlinks in a footnote as the content cannot be accessed once the case study is converted. We can visit that a little bit later. Do not include your name or college, university affiliation on the title page or anywhere in the case study, as the review process is anonymous. As I mentioned earlier, for our class, you can add your name so that we can identify you, but you will remove it before you submit your work in October. Be sure to proofread your case study. Points will be deducted for not following format directions, as well as for grammar and spelling errors. So here it goes into a sort of outline of each slide. These are the driving fashion value in a digital world. You are the design director for a fashion brand or retailer that is adjusting the approach to their product mix. Here again, Oberon, to answer your question, I think they're throwing a bit more detail. It has to be a fashion brand or retailer that is adjusting the approach to their product mix to reflect the needs and buying habits of the consumer in this pandemic environment. Your objective is to design an effective and exciting collection that will appeal to the consumer who is budget conscious, but still wants to be stylish. Online appeal, comfort, easy care are important, but so is versatility, allowing consumers to easily transition from home lifestyle activities to work from home. Slide 1 is your title sentence, summarize the case and discipline of your case study, and of course, outline of your deck. Slide 2, write an executive summary covering all components of your case study. And then, as you can see, it goes into very detailed specifics for each slide. I'm not going to go over all of that. This is already uploaded on the Nest for all of you to access, print it out, write notes on your page, and really sort of digest what this brief is all about. Your professors will go over that with you. And then just real quick, the judging criteria, your work will be based on a very specific rubric, like we mentioned, 60% creativity and feasibility, and so forth. Required documents for submission. When you submit in October, you will have your completed FSF case study, which is your PowerPoint. You will need a cover letter of about 250 to 300 words containing your responses to the following questions. Why are you interested in the fashion industry? By the way, these questions are there to basically persuade or convince your reader that you're committed to the fashion industry. This is not a hit job. You're in it. You're completely invested in this industry. They want to give scholarship funds to people that have, you know, a level of sort of attachment to the industry and who will continue in this field. What are your current career aspirations, and why have you decided to select your case study discipline, which is the design and product development part? Your current resume and your current unofficial transcripts. Here are some of the deadlines. So April 1st, as I mentioned, your eligibility quiz and application profile will need to be completed. I will give you the WiseHive link as soon as I get it. October 18th is when the project is due. And in December, you will get a confirmation, but in December, we'll find out the scholarship finalists. Any questions so far? Lots of information to digest, right? Okay. All right, so let's go over a few of the key points that they mentioned in the design brief. So these are, I kind of wanted to show you guys the things that you need to keep in mind. I know there was a lot of text, a lot of information given, but really these are the points that you need to focus on and keep in mind while you develop this project. This collection is for an existing fashion apparel brand or retailer, or it could be a brand expansion, right? So the collection can be for an existing product category and market segment addressed by the brand, or it can propose a brand expansion into a new product category or market. I would like for you guys to write down any questions you have and send it to your instructors, to Erin or Roberta, and give, because I would like to present all these questions to the organizers of FSF to get more details. Okay. Yes, Roberta.
Finish up because I have a little exercise for them for next week.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so what is an existing fashion apparel? Everyone knows Ralph Lauren, right? Well, keeping that in mind, these are some of the existing product categories that are out there. Apparel for men, women, and kids. We have sportswear categories, which is really focused on physical activity. You have tracksuit, swimsuit, activewear, yoga wear. All these categories are already existing. You've got traditional garments. This can go into uniforms or kimonos. What are uniforms? It could be a focus on just, for example, a certain type of jacket or a certain line item. Formal wear, where you go into evening dresses. Obviously, evening dresses are not very popular right now, so you might want to think about that. Or business suits. Loungewear, which includes lingerie, sleepwear. And then you have the vintage and secondhand category, which comprises collectible items, upcycled materials, like we discussed about Patagonia just now, reused and sustainable fabrics. And here are market segments. And again, Roberta is sort of the expert in this area, so I know she's going to sort of expand on this even more. But I just did a quick search to show you guys how this sort of pyramid works in terms of quality and price. Where does Ralph Lauren fall on this chart?
Accessible luxury.
Thank you, Oberon. Accessible luxury. If we were to downgrade that, where would we fall? Premium? Premium, yes, or mass market, right? So taking something that is in the quality price, accessible luxury category, and making it more affordable could mean just going down one notch to something that is more value conscious, right? Or lower than that. But even if you go down, you don't have to go budget necessarily. And keep in mind, you can mix categories also. So you can have something that is a bit more luxury or premium oriented, like you could have a beautiful coat paired with jogging pants, which are much more price conscious. And so Ralph Lauren has,
Can we go back one slide, Sweetie? Thanks.
yes.
So this is the market segment, I think taken from 2019. I think that there's going to be a reshuffling, and you're going to have to consider this. And please, Mitra and Aaron, tell me if you don't agree, but the way it seems to be going is that the aspirational is going to grow, and the supreme luxury is steady and growing. What seems to be shrinking is the accessible luxury premium. So they're going up or they're going down. What I'm driving to is that there is going to be a remapping of the fashion industry in terms of accessibility, because there seems to be a consistent, and this has been going on for years again, it's just been pushed by Corona. There seems to be an increasing gap. As I said, the luxury market is steady, has never gone down, not even a little bit. If anything, it has increased. Increased in other ways, which we can discuss. And then there is a whole segment of people who were investing in fashion and are not longer doing that because they can't, because they don't agree, because they don't need to at the moment because they're during Corona. So you have to keep in mind how the market is likely to shift. Does it make sense? I'm not sure that Mitra, Aaron.
I'll stop sharing so we can see faces.
Well, it makes me think of, like, 3 decades ago when somebody like Bill Blass went from a designer market to a more moderate market because the economy tanked. And so lots of designers started doing these sublines and things that took them down a whole notch so that they were more accessible to people. So like that midsection is going to kind of disappear, and there's going to be a greater divide between the two as the top two grow and the ones in the middle kind of go down into the more accessible market.
Or go up.
Or go up.
Because right now, the very low market is the one that suffers the most. We're not going to buy 5 T-shirts in a pack. Fast fashion is dying, basically. So I agree with you. Some are going down, some are going up. I think there is a whole lot of rebranding too. A lot of brands that had not really come out as standing for something. They're all standing for something now. Have you not noticed? Standing for community, standing for groups. The mission is gone up because people are more careful. And because of the internet, we can do our research and decide to buy the things that are produced or sold according to our beliefs. Does it make the young generation should really understand this? I don't know if I don't see any reactions. I get really sad when I don't see any reactions. You want to get me to cry?
Don't
Don't cry.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Is this hard for you guys to, and it can't be, right? You guys
Well,
can.
I mean, what I do understand is it makes sense that luxury brands would try to accommodate to a lower market because of just the financial situation right now. What I'm trying to understand is why those mid-layer brands like Calvin Klein or something would go up to a more luxury level, which is what it sounds like you're also saying. It sounds like they're gonna deviate in that sense where it's gonna go up and down. And so what is your reasoning for those brands in the mid-layer to go up?
Oh, there is no reasoning. That is a brand by brand decision that I have to make. The market as it is not sustainable. And I think that a lot of them are going to choose to go down, but going down without a mission is not longer possible. Going down saying, I just, make it more affordable, I'll just produce less, a lower quality thing to give it, to lower the price, it's not going to fly. And also people are more aware of how things are produced. So I see an increase in local driven production.
Mhm.
Sustainable production, locally driven, or things that are connected to specific communities. Those are the ones that will, I think, do very, very well.
Mhm. It sort of
So,
goes back to, sorry, Roberta, for jumping in. This part
no,
of
no,
objective
go.
consider how addressing our current social structure and changes in our culture could be an additional focus, right? Do you want me to go back to this chart? Whoops.
And then I have another question as to what you were mentioning before. You said that you think that bras are gonna be kind of moving out. I guess I was just curious as to why you think that in terms of, I felt like bras would be something that there's always going to be a market for, just because people need that structure and support. So I was just curious in what other ways you think that we might accommodate that.
Oh, when I say that bras are going out, I mean that after women have been at home without a bra for a year and a half, I'm talking to people, I'm reading articles, I'm not just saying this off the top of my head. Obviously, bras are always going to be around for support because some women cannot live without that support. That's a different story. But they're going to be, and I already see it. Some version of sports bras that are changed to become something. So the regular bra for every woman who gets out of the house every morning, that is gone.
It's
I
sort of
think.
like in the 70s with the women's movement and people like burning the old structure bras from the 60s and 50s and going for something more natural or not wearing a bra. So it's going to revolutionize the bra industry by creating things like the sports bra, more deconstructed bras. People aren't going to be into as much of the shaping stuff and the Spanx and all of that because it's not comfortable and they haven't been wearing it.
The underwire is gone. I think that there's gonna be the luxury lingerie is gonna thrive because because luxury always thrives. But bras, I think Iron is right. Maybe deconstructed that you can wear as apparel. Say with the jumpsuit, something like that. That it's already happened in the 70s. Aaron, you're right.
Right. But these
And
all,
again, always
yes,
think about fashion as something that goes up and down. Okay, it never stays like this. So things, since fashion is based on the body and has its limits on the body, there is a sort of finite amount of things you can do, and once a trend is at the tipping point, then it goes down and it goes the opposite direction. So that is what is going to happen.
And I'm really glad you brought up that questions. These are questions all of you should have. Be curious about where this is going and do the research. Get some statistics of, you know, what are the statistics of bras right now? Has it gone down in what way, and what has replaced it? And that's where your research becomes really critical. I'm going to continue with the slideshow because I still have a few things, important things I want to share with you, just to give you an idea of how a brand can sort of hit many price points. Ralph Lauren's Purple label is at the highest range of that echelon. And then you go into, there are many more labels, but just a quick overview. The Double R label is a notch under that. And then you go into Polo. Polo is sort of as a range. Some items are made in China, some items are made in Italy. It sort of crosses that area. And then you go into the lower price point, Lauren, and then Chaps is sort of like at the bottom of the echelon. So, you know, where does your label fall in this category? And, you know, how do you foresee that? Identify a new product category or market. What is this new product category? Are you going into something that will include masks? You know, is it focused masks? Are you creating masks that match the outfits? What are these items that you think are going to be important? Could it be clothes that have built-in safety features, like, you know, could it be something that is digital, or could there be, you know, sanitizer included? Could it be, you know, fabrics that have antimicrobial attributes? You know, what is that? What can you create? Could it be something that guards you and, you know, has a hood that comes and protects you? I thought this was kind of funny. You know, maybe a lot of people can relate to this. You're sitting on a Zoom.
Love this.
Right? Yeah. No one cares what's happening at the bottom. You can be comfy with your, you know, socks, but, you know, have a lot of fun with what's going on under the table. What is off the screen? And, you know, by all means, if you want to throw in some humor in this project, humor always sells. You'll always, you know, have a good place with that, where, you know, you create something that is catchy. But, you know, this outfit right here, for example, is inspired by pajamas. But, you know, it's done in a new way where it becomes a jumpsuit, and it still looks really good, but really it's based on the idea of pajamas. Or something that is structured on top, but at the bottom it's really soft and comfortable. This whole category of work from home.
Or even, I've seen, exactly, I've seen also things that are cut as a business suit, but are done in jersey or woven material, so that they combine the softness and comfort of athleisure with the style of the business suit. So there is a lot of that right now.
Absolutely. All of you have gone through this experience for an entire year. There must be things that you've said to yourself, you know what, I wish I had an item like that. I wish I had something like this. So what is that thing? You know, really, this is your chance to develop that. So as you can see, all of these are great examples of, you know, what this new life is. But when you really look at the clothes, this could be a mix of high and low, right? For example, this jacket, this is done in a beautiful fabric. It's probably some kind of wool base, but the way it's paired with the clothes that are more based on loungewear, the combination looks really new. This outfit could be something you can buy at Vince, right? Where the coat is maybe more in a luxury fabric, but what it's paired with. And then also the color story has a beautiful feel. The color story feels luxurious. And that is something that is equally important. Again, having something structured paired with fleece, but the fleece is done in a really beautiful way with the details, for example, that make it really special.
So Mitra, to speak to what Roberta was talking about, the ups and downs and the cycles of stuff, this actually was the premise of DKNY when it first came out in 1989. It was to fill that niche of things that Donna wanted as casual meets more expensive clothing. And DKNY used to be way different than it is now. It wasn't as budgety, it wasn't as cheap. It was kind of more on the expensive side mixed with the casual stuff. So, you know, it was putting a bodysuit t-shirt with a pair of jeans, then with an expensive overcoat made out of a woolen or a blanket or something that you kept as an investment garment.
That's a great point. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
And another thing that is really, really big right now is thrift. So combining thrift with, I think that what both of you were saying, Aaron and Mitra, is there is going to be a combination of, there is going to be a tendency to combine high items, the ones you keep, with the last, you know, trend, but in a more conscious way.
Mhm. Right, absolutely. So here are some ideas. This is not all. I'm sure you can come up with more ideas, but some new product categories or markets that you could expand into. Work from home, that's a new category all on its own. Maybe non-gendered clothing. Could it be one size fits all for people who no longer want to have that smaller size that ends up in the landfills when sizes change? Could it be adjustable clothing? Materials that are perhaps antimicrobial, or you know, other fabrics that you come across. Could it be fabrics that have silver woven into them, or copper, or something else that, you know, protects the body? That's where you have to do a little bit of research. Or built-in safety features, like maybe it has a mask sewn in, or a place where you can, you know, put your sanitizer bottle, or whatever it may be. What is it that is needed? And then these are some of the key points that they pointed out in your objectives in your design brief. These are the things you have to keep in mind. Video conferencing, the waist up meeting lifestyle, transition from work to home life and back, a value lifestyle, taking into account that consumers have limited resources, and materials with easy care. Nobody wants to take their stuff to the dry cleaners anymore. Really, we just want to toss it into the washer and be done with it. And current changes in social structure also. So these are some things that I want you to think about. I will leave this PowerPoint. Aaron, can I send it to you and you sort of you know, distribute it to the students, or maybe I'll just put it on the Nest.
Sorry, you can put it on the Nest.
Sounds good. Now, how many of you have gone to WGSN lately? TICO. That's great. Anybody else? All of you will go to WGSN starting today. The reason why is they have an entire segment. The first page is dedicated to this project. And you guys are so lucky for having access to this information. Because again, signing up for a WGSN, it's very expensive. Not a lot of colleges do that. Not a lot of companies have that access. So when you go into that, the first page, when you log in, is this. It's really addressing the issues that are in your design brief. So the key reports mostly focus on the post-COVID consumer. This number 4, big ideas, I will go into that. And the white paper, the value shift, how, you know, values have been shifting. It's all great information. If you peruse through the page, you'll get even more information. But just this white paper on the future consumer is chock full of information on exactly what we've been talking about. And if you click on that, and just scroll down, we want you guys to read all of this. Hopefully today, while you're waiting to have your midterm grades discussed with your instructor, you guys should be going over this, because it'll give you so many ideas on things like, you know, the consumer sentiment, consumer profiles. And you click on all of these, it'll take you into a new category for your research. It's just really amazing. And some statistics. These are all things that you can use in your research. On and on. The big ideas 2023, if you click on this icon right here, let me see, this one right here, big ideas 2023, it'll take you on this area that talks about the executive summary. There's these 5 areas that you can focus on. Is it push for progress, embracing frugality, which is really what this objective is, mastering well-being, tech acceptance, intentional community. And it goes deeper into all these areas. Roberta, you have access to WGSN, right? You can access it on the library. Yeah. Push for progress.
I already, yeah, I know most of the stuff. I would like them to do a little exercise for me if it's possible for next time.
Absolutely. I'll be done in a few minutes, and then you can.
No. Go. Don't worry.
Okay, great. And then the value shift, again, another white paper that has such an incredible amount of information, facing uncertainty in this new world. And it gives you a bit more statistics, but this is really incredible how the value system that we're discussing, wellness, promoting togetherness, that could be another concept that you can focus on, gaining trust, and then of course comfort and insurance. So please, you know, take the time to go over these areas, and you will learn so much by reading this. This is something you normally wouldn't have time to really focus on, and you know, get yourself familiarized with this, with what we're dealing with right now. And I think I already went over this. Yeah. So next, I would like to, I know we're going over. Can you stay a little bit longer, Roberta, or do you have to go?
No, I have to, but I can, but you know, I have about 9:30, another 20 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll be definitely done by then. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of a past winner. This is a 2020 winner, but I just wanted to again show you the quality of work and the order and the clarity of the work as well. This was a different design brief. Of course, it was taking 2 major Fortune 500 companies and sort of bringing them together, blending their work. And so I'll just quickly go over the slideshow. Oops. So you have a sort of a table of contents, how your slideshow is lined up. Again, you have to be super organized, you guys. A quick brief of what your concept is about, the executive summary, a bit more of how you've planned your groups, some research, images that are woven into your research, of course, some footnotes as well. And really, like, look how expanded it is. It's very clear where the research comes from. You get an idea of what this is about. And then some images of swipes that have inspired you. Color palette, fabric story. But it's not just a fabric swatch. Everything has, look how much information they put in the content. Crepe de chine, it's not just silk, it's crepe de chine, it's mercerized cotton. You have to know your material, you have to know fashion, and then also why you selected these fabrics. And then of course it goes into the design part with all the fabrics clearly placed next to the designs, and then with call outs. You can see there is a special pocket that's sewn in here that you normally wouldn't see, and really beautiful flats. And then the marketing strategy, which for you guys, it might be a different thing. Again, just look at the requirements for the slideshow, your lineup, and then some more, the list of images with, references. And then they also had asked for an in-store experience, like where actually do you sell this, which is probably in your design brief as well. The appendix. And that's the last slide. This is 20 slides right there. Last year we had a sophomore, actually in 2021, who won. And this is their work. It's a fantastic, really an amazing project, because they actually focused on augmented reality in this world of fashion. As you can see, the sketches are not as well developed as the other work, but then the other work that I just showed you was the top prize winner. But this person was selected for a $7,500 prize. You guys can do better flats. But I think it shows you how important content is, clarity, well-structured project. It's organization of your thought process that matters a lot here in this project. And last but not least, I'm going to go over the homework for next week, so you guys can take a screenshot of this. So what we have done in the past at this point, usually we do a project that ends up in your portfolio, and it's focused on tailored jackets. Because the tailored jacket is part of your learning objectives for this course, it seems a little bit out of place that we're focusing on a jacket right now, but it's something you have to learn. Ultimately, all of you will design a jacket, I'm sure, for this project. Some of you may not. But we are focusing on a jacket, a tailored jacket this week, and then we'll keep going into the Fashion Scholarship Fund. So as you know, your packets were due this morning if you were not a semi-finalist. So we went over the direction. The instructors will meet with you to go over your midterm grades. If you're in the costume history track, Erin will talk to you. Mandy?
No, no. You said that Eddie was going to take care of that.
Oh, yeah.
About that.
Right. But the homework you'll go over with Mandy for?
It's the same homework. I don't know what the project is from Eddie.
Okay. All right. You'll check with Eddie. But for next week, the next time we meet is after spring break. You have 2 weeks to complete this part. You will create 2 different concepts. Come with 2 different concepts, and then we'll select the best one. Your design teachers and Roberta will be on the meeting when we come back from spring break you will select the best one. Yes, Carson.
So for me and Obi, like, are we juggling both CFDA and getting all this done?
Basically, yes. Your CFDA should be close to complete. It's just a few items that you need to finish to apply and to submit your application work, which is your bio and so forth. But you will have to do this part as well. Again, this is over spring break. You have 2 weeks. When we meet, it will be March 29th, exactly in 2 weeks from now. Okay, now let me finish and then we can have a discussion about this later. You will back it up with visual support and research excerpts. WGSN is a great place for you guys to get a lot of that research. Collect 8 to 10 swipes of looks for each concept. Where are you going? What is a look you're aiming for? And collect 10 to 15 swatches for each concept. You can mix high and low. This could be a combination of fabrics that are a bit more high-end with things that are more budget or value conscious. Place on a fabric board. So you'll place them for each concept on a separate fabric board. You will watch the design demo. It's a tailored jacket. You will watch that today in class. I'm going to put these links in the chat box so that you can watch it while you wait for your design teacher to give you your grade. Collect 8 swipes of tailored jackets. Based on jacket swipes, these 8 swipes that you collect, you'll pick your favorite 4 jackets and you will sketch them. You will flat out the front and back. This is after you watch the demo. Eduardo did a great demo on how to draw the front tailored jacket and a back tailored jacket. And you will attach the swipes. For those of you who are semi-finalists, March 29th is when your CFD and Liz Claiborne packets are due. You will upload all application requirements to the G drives you're using right now. Your digital portfolio, your video, written statement, headshot, and your bio. So that's it basically. Let me just copy that. Did you guys take a screenshot?
Oberon did.
Thank you, Oberon. There you go. So I posted 2 links. One is on the Nest. If you guys can't access it on the Nest, go to the YouTube video. But hopefully all of you will be able to access it on the Nest. Did everyone take a screenshot of the homework? Other than Oberon? Okay, good. Thank you. So any questions before I leave?
No, Mishra, I
Yeah.
have the assignment.
Oh, yes, that's right, Roberta.
So can you go back to the brief for the, you lost me with all the other stuff. I am completely confused about the CD, whatever, CFDA.
Yeah, you don't worry about that. That's very
Okay, so go back to the end, please.
end of this.
Yes,
Further,
yes.
that's the end.
No, a little up the page before. There you go. So let's start from the very end. And I'll tell you what. For next time, I would like you to do the cover letter. Not for them as a start. Don't forget, that's the first thing they will read. And that is the justification for your life work. So it is not to be taken lightly. And I am asking you to do this because what you write there will direct the way you do this project. So why are you interested in the fashion industry? Don't just say because I like fashion. Everybody likes fashion. and nobody would go into fashion without liking fashion. So don't tell me that. Tell me why exactly. Be honest. This is not what you're gonna send them. This is a draft of what you're gonna send them. We're gonna work on it later. But I really want to know what attracts you to fashion. Why? Do you wanna make a difference? Do you like beautiful things? Do you just want to make money? It's all right. Just be honest about what you want to do. Because that will give you and me and your teachers an idea of how you're going to approach the project. Okay?
Great. So we'll add the cover letter into the whole.
Yeah, you basically have to tell me why you are here and why you're doing this. Okay?
Great.
And I have no idea how to access them. I'm not good with Google Drive, but I do not know if we can create a Nest thing where I'm good with the Nest, not with Google Drive. I'm sorry.
So what we can do is once the students upload their cover letters, I can forward it to you. I can add you to the Google Drive. It's going to be very simple so that you can see.
Okay.
We have a whole folder for that. Great. Any questions before I leave? Thank you so much, Roberta, for coming and being a part of this. I'm excited that we're going to partner together. All of you have Roberta's email, I think, right? And we will see her after spring break.